So over the past week, I've been enjoying the YouTube feature known as image polls, and I've been sending you guys all sorts of polls to look at and answer, and you've been giving me some crazy answers, and I've been giving you some crazy questions too. I will admit to that, but I just wanted to go over them because some of these were so funny, and some of the reactions you had were quite funny too. So yeah, I guess I'll just start with the first one. We got, which stupid superpower would you choose? And the options were wasp-proof skin, which I thought would be very popular. You know, wasps are very scary, but it was the least popular answer. And then your whistle summons a puppy was the second least popular, which everybody loves puppies, so I was very surprised with that. And then the second most popular, which was, you know, the most popular for a while, and people had a lot to say about this one. You point at someone and they poop their pants, you know, that, and that was quite a funny one. So yeah, I don't understand why it was so popular, and people were saying they would like use it on political figures and celebrities and like anyone they hated. You know, they could like, seek victory over their enemies, and that was just a really enjoyable thing, you know. Seeing all the creative uses for it. Some people even figured out a way to, you know, people through dehydration using that power. But inevitably, it did become the second most popular because I gave them levitate with glutes. So like you flex your glutes and that makes you levitate, you know? And a lot of people said that's basically just jumping, but no. You levitate using your glute strength. So as long as you're flexing your glutes, you just sort of float upwards. And like I was thinking like I didn't say this, but I was thinking like with this power your base strength would allow you to float like 5 feet off the ground, but then as you get your glutes stronger, you know, it would inspire you to work out more. So like as you got stronger, you would be able to levitate higher and longer and, you know, faster. And then we got the second one. I did end up going for a more fitness-based thing with this one. Which fitness-based superpower would you choose? And the first option was shapeshift to C-bum when flexing, and that was actually the least popular one. And it was tied with drink pre-workout for 1 hour and get super speed. I mean, drink pre-workout and get 1 hour of super speed, and nobody wanted that. Like 9% wanted shapeshifting to C-bum when flexing and drink 1 hour of pre-workout. I think a lot of people drink pre-workout, get 1 hour speed, you know, which super speed is a really great power, but it's kind of nerfed there because you have to drink the pre-workout and then, you know, you want to work out after you drink pre-workout, so it's like you can really only use it for workouts. And, you know, it doesn't have the applications that normal super speed has. And people well, people didn't really go crazy for it, but a lot more people wanted current PR becomes your warm-up set. That's just sort of a general strength boost, you know. You end up, you know, your current PR becomes just the amount of weight that you would use for your warm-up set. And the most popular one out of these four was 61% voted for private sanctum key to your own gym. And if you don't know what a private sanctum key is, it's like a key that you can use on any door, and you unlock it, and it opens up any door to like this private sanctum of your own. And it would be a gym in there, you know. A lot of people tried to like comment stuff that they would edit their gym, like they wanted a pool in there, or they wanted you know, maybe put a bedroom in there and live in it, you know, like you could have your own private property. But I don't know. I was thinking like it would probably just be a gym, like a run-of-the-mill normal gym with equipment in it, you know. They were grabbing at too much, you know. They thought they could do anything with the gym, and that's probably why most people went for that one. I just, that wasn't my funniest one though. This one's a bit funnier, but not all the way funny. Choose an animal to follow you around and do whatever you say. I was thinking more of a best friends vibe, but people thought that I meant slave vibe. So they ended up going for the falcon that steals wallets, the #1 most popular. I thought that was a bit of a funny idea. Falcon that steals wallets. So, because it was based off that crow in, I think it was the Netherlands. Somebody trained a crow to go and pick up cash from the floor and like around the city and bring it back to him. And I thought, yeah, you could do that with a falcon, and then if that was like your animal friend. And then the other options were, the least popular was a strong and noble horse, and then the second least popular was a lazy yet bloodthirsty panther. We got a lot of murderers in my audience, I just found out through these polls, but yeah, that's the first hint. And then two well-trained dogs, you know, a border collie and a German shepherd. So yeah, I guess if they're just doing what you say, you don't really need them to be well-trained. So a lot of people pointed out that the well-trained part was a non-descriptive descriptor, you know? So yeah, that ended up being normal. And then we got, what's the least terrible thing to find in your home after a long day at work? Now this one's a bit of a funnier one because it's really some horrible stuff, but also there's a bit of a toilet humor in this. So yeah, we'll say that one first. Upper deckers in all of your toilets. And if you don't know what an upper decker is, Google it because I'm not going to tell you, but it's awful. But the other options were arguably worse, I would say. And some people did choose the worst options, you know? Upper deckers wasn't actually the least chosen. Cockroach kitchen was the least chosen. You'll have a picture up here of me showing you what it is, but it's a kitchen basically infested with cockroaches to the point where it's on every surface. And then 6 coyotes have broken into your home was the second most popular. And then a homeless man who won't leave. You know, a lot of people were saying that the coyotes were the easiest ones to deal with because you could just shoot them, but also one homeless man, you could, you know, threaten him with assorted weapons, and that was kind of a cruel thing to say. You know, he's a homeless fella, but he's still a person, you know, and you know, you wanna try and be nice to him, try and get him to leave, but I don't know. At the end of the day, if the prompt says that he won't leave, then I guess you kind of got to do something. So, arguably, I would pick the upper deckers because all that is like, I don't know, a few hours of cleaning and that's solved right there. But very few people picked it, so I was very surprised at that. And then the next one I gave was, what magical item would you buy from the creepy old shopkeeper? We got necklace that lets you talk to the dead, hoodie that makes you immortal, Crocs that let you breathe underwater, or extremely realistic skull mask. And I like the extremely realistic skull mask, but I would probably pick the Crocs that let you breathe underwater. Extremely realistic skull mask. It like straps under your face, then sucks your flesh down, so it's like you look like a skull and a spine just poking out of your shirt. So I thought that was cool. But the Crocs that let you breathe would have been my favorite, and let you breathe underwater would be my favorite. Because I'm a big water guy. You know, I've always been into water, so yeah. Hoodie that makes you immortal actually ended up being the most popular out of that. And people were debating whether or not the immortality would make you live forever. But my idea behind that was like, it wouldn't be like the curse of immortality, where it ends up, you know, you're living forever, because anytime you want to die, you just take the hoodie off and whew, you're done, you know? It doesn't kill you right away when you take the hoodie off, but you take it off and then you start aging again. You start, you know, getting cancer and your cells move around, you get stabbed, you know? It goes back to normal. So really, it's just like giving you Deadpool powers as long as you're wearing the hoodie. So yeah, that was my intention, and I think a lot of people did manage to grasp that eventually, and they all chose hoodie that makes you immortal. So yeah. Next, this one's a little bit more funny. It was a bit weird, but I said, make a bodily sacrifice for $100 million, and a lot of people were very pedantic about it. You know, they wanted to get into the nitty gritty of this, you know, and they said about the never shower again option. Not a lot of people picked it, but a lot of people said there was a loophole in it where I can't shower, but I can bath or swim in the ocean, or I can like take a hobo shower in the sink. And I was like, well, that's kind of cheating, isn't it? That's kind of a rip-off, you know? And that did end up being the second most popular option, and the other options were permanent impotence and ankylosing spondylitis. Basically, nobody wanted the ankylosing spondylitis, and I get that. That's like a real hardcore disease, you know? That'll ruin your life. But the most popular option, I was surprised at this, become a chronic bedwetter. But I guess that is sort of a normal thing. Not normal, but it is sort of like just a thing that people have and live with. And, you know, you can still have a pretty normal, usual life with that in there. And if you can find someone who's willing to deal with it, you could still have a partner and have a whole, you know, family and life, and just, it's just a thing you got to deal with. So also, some people said that the other things had never shower again and permanent impotence, which implies that they last forever. But the last two things on the list, becoming a chronic bedwetter and ankylosing spondylitis, could maybe go away, you know, because I didn't put the the prefix thing that says forever, you know? But yeah, become a chronic bedwetter. That was the main thing. Then I did a top 4 of the most popular ones. Choose from the 4 most popular choices in previous hypotheticals. And they poop their pants was the most popular from theirs at the time, but then it ended up switching and turning the tide to have it be, what was the other one? I don't know, it was the other one. But it ended up not being that popular. It was the least popular of the 4. And the most popular was still the hoodie that makes you immortal, with 50%, you know? It was very surprising that people would still go for that, even against the private sanctum key, which was very popular. Everyone thought that was really great. And honestly, out of the 4, I think the private sanctum key is the best out of these 4, for sure. So, oh, this one's a bit interesting, you know? It has a little bit of intrigue to it. A time traveler gives you 24 hours to save as many people as you can. Where are you going? New York on September 10th, 2001. Hiroshima, August 5th. 1945, the Titanic, April 13th, 1912, and Tiananmen Square, June 3rd, 1989. So you get a full day to prevent these disasters, and yeah, you just you try your best to save as many people as possible. And most people said they'd go back to New York, which was surprising because that would be such a hard thing to do, you know, evacuate a whole building, and it doesn't have that many lives, you know. I think the best thing to save the most lives would be the Titanic, because, you know, the Titanic, all you need to do is get the guy to steer the boat a little bit to the left, and you're going to be fine. Hiroshima, that was a whole city. How are you going to evacuate a whole city? But I guess it does have the most lives to save, so if you could get the city to evacuate, which is very much unlikely, they were telling me in the comments that with Hiroshima, America did drop flyers that were telling them, hey, this place is going to be nuked, so you better leave, and nobody believed them, or maybe nobody could read English, so yeah, they just stayed, and it was rough. But yeah, I don't know which one I would choose. I guess the Titanic. I'm a water guy, you know. I hate to use it as an opportunity to just be on a boat, but I'm tempted. And then I said, do something unpleasant for perfect credit and no debt. And I was surprised. Drink 1 liter of rat milk was very unpopular. Only 5% of people went for it. And a lot of people at first were going for slap a nun, which was fun, but people were talking about how, like, Catholic school nuns would abuse them a lot. You know, they would hit the kids with like a ruler, or you know, have very severe punishments. So I guess it was relatable and understandable that they would want to slap a nun. And then a 15-minute swim in the Hudson, which very few people went for. But a lot of people thought I was talking about the Hudson Bay, and I assume that's the 15% there that decided to swim. Because, you know, if you're swimming in the Hudson River in New York, you're getting a disease of some sort. I mean, I'm telling you, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be an all right situation. The FDA had to declare stuff about them. It's crazy. And ended up being the most popular thing was call all of your exes and apologize. That 50%, which honestly had a lot of really, unexpected comments about it. Because a lot of people were saying that they straight up don't have exes. So they just get the perfect credit and no debt without doing anything. I just thought, that was weird. That was weird, right? Like, I'm a pretty out there and experienced guy, so to find out that so many people had so little experience with romantic and sexual things, and to find out that all of them had never even dated someone was just very surprising, you know? I got started early on that stuff. I had my first kiss when I was 11, and I'm not going to talk too much about what happened, but I'm a pretty out there guy when it comes to that. But this is weird to think about, you know. What about my content attracts so many adult, inexperienced people? I don't know. But, yeah, you're welcome here anyway. I mean, you got to get your pleasure somewhere. You might as well enjoy my wholesome content, so, yeah. And then I said, which finely aged fighter would win in a fight in our time? And I gave 4 options: Arnold Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, Jackie Chan, and Snoop Dogg. Very few people picked Snoop Dogg, which I was surprised by, because Snoop Dogg, I'm pretty sure, is always strapped and walks around with bodyguards. So he definitely has it, I would say. But Jackie Chan, he's got the most martial arts experience. He's got stuntman training. So everyone said him. And then Chuck Norris, they were saying that Chuck Norris has way better stuntman training, but also he only got 22%. So I mean, way better martial arts training. So he got 22% though. So that was weird. But Arnold Schwarzenegger also scored very low. But he's a big, beefy muscle man who still works out to this day. So I was shocked and surprised that nobody voted for Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. It was weird but fun. Oh, best breakfast beverage. This was funny. Chocolate milk, apple juice, orange juice, coffee. And I'm obviously team chocolate milk. I'm lactose intolerant, but it's worth it, It's worth it just to get that chalky milk into my tum-tum, into my mouth. Oh, it's good. Good stuff. But the most popular ended up being coffee, and chocolate milk losing by only 5 points. So yeah, it was cool. And then orange juice was way more popular than apple juice, which was deeply surprising and shocking to me. I am a big apple juice guy. I'll drink orange juice when I have a sore throat, but other than that, I'm chocolate milk and apple juice all the way. I mean, I drink coffee when I need to wake up, but most of the time I'm drinking pre-workout when I wake up at a normal time, so I end up just getting my caffeine from that. Next I said, you're on vacation in Florida, but you only have time for one. Where are you going? Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, Disney World, or SeaWorld. And Universal Studios won by a freaking landslide, 61%. And then Disney World was the second most popular with only 25%. Islands of Adventure and SeaWorld were very low, which was surprising because I'm a water guy. You would think my fans would also be a bunch of water guys, right? But no, both the water parks were very unpopular. And yeah, I guess I get Universal Studios being popular. The Simpsons ride is crazy. The Shrek ride is crazy. Yeah, they got all those crazy roller coasters. The Jurassic Park thing. Yeah, they just got a bunch. Oh, the Jaws ride. I forgot about the Jaws ride. Oh, there's so much good stuff at Universal Studios. Have you had the Dippin' Dots? The Dippin' Dots are crazy. I'm lactose intolerant, but you gotta have the Dippin' Dots if you're going to Universal Studios. Oh, and this one was a bit funny. Curse your worst enemy with something. Irritable bowel syndrome, Cockroach Kitchen Part 2, bringing that back, and the Man of Many Bees Wants His Soul, which was very spooky, very spooky. A lot of people were calling him an eldritch being, a lot of them saying that the rest of the stuff was very normal, and then the Man of Many Bees was this horrifying thing that I had just dreamed up in my head. And I thought of the Man of Many Bees like 2 weeks ago when I was playing around with like this AI image generator. I had to create a man made out of bees. And then I've just been drumming up this like cryptid in my head called the Man of Many Bees, and I just think it's a really fun idea to just like, I don't know, he eats souls, I guess now, which is a new part of the lore that I made up for this poll. But yeah, and inevitably the most popular option became constant confusion and headaches, which I guess I can get. That's like an actual disease that can really mess with someone. So yeah, there's that. And then the final poll I did was pick a skill to instantly download into your brain. And I ended up saying, speak French like a native, play harmonica like a pro, become an Aikido master, or catch, clean, and cook a fish. And a lot of people were talking about how important catch, clean, and cook a fish could end up being. But then become an Aikido master ended up becoming the most popular thing. And there was a lot of backlash for that. People were saying Aikido is a pretty much useless skill, but I've done Aikido. I was in Aikido for a while when I was a teenager, and I've used it in real fights. And the thing is, with Aikido, you don't want the Aikido to be the only thing you're using. You use your own mind, you use your own strength, you have to add things to Aikido. It's like a starter pack. You know how they do Mr. Noodles at the supermarket? You get them for 99 cents, but yeah, with Aikido, it's the kind of the same thing. You're supposed to add the meat to it. You're supposed to add stuff. So you use your own strength, your own techniques. You know, they teach you the grabs, the locks, and all that stuff. But you need to be smart enough to take advantage of your own physical advantages, your own intelligence, and have a little bit extra to it. Like some people were saying, add judo, add a weapon to it, and you can do that. When I was learning Aikido, they also taught me to use a sword and a staff, and yeah, those were really useful things to add to it. But mostly I just use it for redirection and what I call Bugs Bunnying people. So things get heated, I get in a fight, and they throw a punch at me. I'm just redirecting and blocking, and the whole time they can't lay a hand on me because I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm just avoiding, you know, like an airbender in the Legends of, in the Avatar, the Last Airbender. But yeah, that's kind of just what I do, how I win a fight, you know. I'm not the kind of bruiser that just comes up in the middle of a fight and just slam dunks someone right into the pavement. I'm not just gonna blast your face, but I don't want to go to jail in a fight, just like some normal street fights. So I just do that until they just give up, and that's how you win a fight with Aikido. You know, you're not gonna do the killing blow with Aikido moves, but you can get them pretty frustrated and just make them leave. So that's what Aikido was really for. And then speaking French like a native was the second most popular. And I've been learning French for a while, and I grew up learning French in high school, so yeah, I've been doing French on Duolingo, so I've been using that for a while. So I find that very useful as well, you know. I don't know. Well, not really useful, just fun to have. But, you know, there's great options. A lot of great options here, but a lot of interesting stuff and a lot of interesting topics to talk about. So, yeah, thanks for watching, Bean Crew. Those have been my polls for the week.